All right, what's going on, everybody? You guys are watching The Pokey Lawyer. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are watching Lucky Cards. I wanted to make this video today just talking about some of the stuff that's going on in the market. Haven't made a little video in a while, so thought this would be a good time. So first thing I want to talk about is all this PSA stuff. So, as most of you might know, PSA paused all their bulk submissions, and right now the minimum value or the minimum cost per card that you could submit at is $80 per card, which is absolutely outrageous. So first thing, I personally don't think that PSA pausing their bulk submissions is a bad thing, because I'm pretty sure they are very backed up. You know what I mean? What I think about a lot is, we just had these first partner cards come out, and if you just think about how many of those first partner cards got graded, they're cheap cards, so the volume of cards that came in was probably insane. And I'm not saying it was because of first partner that they paused their submissions, but you take the large influx of cards from the first partner collection, plus all the other cards that people are grading, plus the sports cards that PSA does and any other TCG. I mean, it's pretty reasonable to expect that they are severely backed up. So them pausing their submissions, I think is a good thing. I know for a lot of people, this is probably interfering with their business, their collecting, their plans, whatever. So, if you are running a business of, grading and selling your graded cards, I really don't have much to say, because I personally don't do that. So I wouldn't really have any advice to give someone, because right now there's even with PSA paused, there's still no second alternative for someone to grade their cards and get the same type of value that they're getting from PSA. So I'm not sure what these business people are doing in terms of that. Maybe they're going Beckett, CGC, tag, but even then, I don't see how it's going to be feasible, But if you are a collector / investor, and you're playing the long game, my advice would, of course, be to just wait it out. I mean, take the power that you have as a collector, investor, use it to your advantage. Because right now, the people who need their cards graded within a certain amount of time, they need to sell their cards within a certain amount of time. I mean, right now they're under some pressure. If you don't have that type of pressure to sell or to grade your cards, of course, just wait it out. Eventually, PSA is going to open up their doors again, and you'll be able to grade your cards for whatever it is, $25 to $30 a card. So if that's you, my first advice would be to just wait it out. Start stacking up on cards that you want to grade. Put away money that you're going to use to grade the cards, so when they do come back, and if you have a large amount of cards, you're not searching for cash for a big submission. Plan ahead. Get your cards ready. Get the money ready. That's my first advice. Second advice, if you are a collector investor, you might be looking into some alternative options. Me personally, I'm looking into PCG. If you guys don't know anything about PCG, it is another grading company, and it is 69% owned by Alpha Investments. If you guys don't know who Alpha Investments is, I would highly recommend checking him out. I don't want to go into a whole speech about why you should watch him, this, that, but he is I don't know. He's a collector, investor. He's a big player in this sealed product TCG game. So he is the owner, 69% owner of PCG. And why I would recommend grading with them, it's purely because just to make a bet on him. Personally, I really listen to what this guy says. He's very knowledgeable in what he does. He has very heavy bags, he has a lot of money in sealed products, so this isn't just a random person. So why I would recommend going with PCG, right now they're doing a discount code. If you do Express 20, it's $20 per card, and you get your cards back within 7 to 10 business days. Now, with that being said, why I would recommend PCG if you were just a collector and investor is because there's a potential based on him owning the company and running the operation that PCG might in the future become a big player in the grading space. So right now, if you grade your cards, you'll get them back within 7 to 10 days. And if you're grading your cards, just understand your cards might not gain any value from being graded, and they might even be harder to sell graded than it would be raw. With that being said, I would still send some cards to PCG because I'm placing my bets not only on the company but on Alpha Investments to run the company well, and eventually, hopefully, it'll be like a CGC or a Tag, or even Beckett's pretty big too. But I know a lot of people might watch this and they're gonna automatically be like, oh yeah, why would you grade with this company who they're never gonna be anything, you're just wasting your money. It's a valid argument. There's definitely a chance that could happen, but if you're debating your options right now, if you're going to grade with Tag or CGC or Beckett, to me, I don't see the value because you're spending the same money you would be sending it to PSA, except you're getting a slab that, is just not going to be worth as much. For me, I think it's a good idea, or I think I like taking the risk of sending it to PCG, $20 a card, which is probably the cheapest you're gonna find, and you have a person behind the company who's very knowledgeable, and I trust them. So that's my thing with PCG. This video isn't sponsored, of course. It's just my personal suggestion given the options out there. Next. A little talk about the market generally. We have Chaos Rising out. It's doing okay. Nothing crazy. We have Pitch Black coming up. Also, pre-orders haven't come out on Pokemon Center, but I don't know. I think it's going to be another set like Chaos Rising. It's going to be around that $200 to $250 range for a booster box. ETBs around $100, and I think product will be readily available for around that $100 cost. The 30th anniversary was revealed, and it seems like people are not liking, or they expected more from the cards. I think people are complaining that it's another Charizard throwback, a bunch of other Pikachus, whatever. I think 30th is going to do great regardless. There's going to be a lot of it. But what I was thinking about, my concern is with all these cards that are going to come out 30th anniversary, that people are going to grade these cards no matter what the value is. If it has a 30th anniversary stamp, you better bet I'd bet the farm that people are going to send in these cards in absurd amounts. I heard that each pack is going to contain one of 30 Pikachu promos. each one of those promos is going to be mass submitted. Just just those Pikachu cards are going to be mass submitted to PSA. And we have this issue right now with grading. Doors are closed, and once the 30th comes out, I think they'll see more cards submitted than they ever have before. I don't know what the repercussions of that are going to be, but just wanted to put that out there. So yeah, in terms of market, I mean, my thing is investing into the sealed product, holding it long term. So all this market noise that you hear, PSA, this, that, if it really shouldn't concern you. I went to a show, went to 2 shows on Saturday, which 2 days ago, where it's June 6th. June 6th, went to 2 different shows, and both shows had very limited sealed product. Sorry about that. So both shows had very limited sealed product. It was all, singles, slabs. So again, right now, I don't think sealed product is easy to find, easy to come by any means, wherever you are. So I think that's always still the play. And listen, if and when something takes a turn in the market, I mean, you're going to see all these sealed. I think you're going to see a lot of the Mega Evolution sealed product when that market shift happens. You're going to see a lot of it come to the market. A lot of people are going to try to sell and get rid of it. And when that happens, you're going to see prices drop a lot on Mega Evolution stuff. But I personally think if that happens, Scarlet Violet, Sword and Shield, and anything before that, I don't think it's going to take as big of a hit. Why? Because I just don't think there's a lot of that product out there. And, I think right now people are going to say, oh, everyone's holding so much product, there's all this, all that. I don't think it could be farther from the case. I mean, if you're a store and you're getting sealed cases from distribution, they're not holding these cases. These stores are opening these cases, they're selling their product, and then they're trying to get more. They got to keep the wheel turning, they got to keep making their money, they got to pay their employees, their overhead, etc. Rip and shippers, they get loads of product. I mean, rip and shippers are going to get the product they need to serve their customers, but they're not getting all this product and keeping it sealed. A rip and shipper will get a boatload of product and they'll rip through it in a week, and then they're back to getting more. So rip and shippers aren't holding product. Next, you have individual collectors, investors, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I just went to these shows, and people come there. Before we get to regular collectors and investors, let's talk about vendors. I personally think, I know this, I believe that for most vendors, most of their money and their profit comes from selling graded and single cards, not from sealed. So if you think it's the vendors that have all this sealed product, because you go to a show, they have these crazy shelves of everything, sure. But if you notice, you go to a show and unbelievable. Come on. So you go to a show and you see a shelf full of product. If you stay for the whole show and come back later to it, I guarantee you a lot of that product is still there. So what does that mean? That means, one, vendors aren't just selling all their sealed product, right when they put it up for sale. Of course, that can mean they're sitting on product, but I also don't think that's the case because vendors, they're just like a store. They need to keep their product moving. That's their business. That's what they're doing. So again, vendors, majority of their business is graded cards and singles. Those are easier to sell. Those move quicker. They're easier to find. So we come back to the collector, the normal collector investor like me, like you, who's maybe watching this video. There's not that many people who are really buying sealed product and just putting it away to hold. There's a very small percentage of people who are doing just specifically buying sealed product and putting it away. And even if there are a lot of people who are putting it away, how many people, like, life events happen, how many people are actually going to hold for the 5-year period, the 10-year period? You know, it's not a lot of people. So if you're watching this video and you have the collector investor perspective long term, I mean, you just got to stick to what you're doing. I've been adding some sealed products, some Sword and Shield stuff, and I've just been sitting on it, and it's been doing great. You know, all this other market stuff, PSA, it doesn't really affect me. If the market does go down on sealed product, I mean, that's just good for me, because I would love cheaper entry points right now. Because right now I have to pick and choose between, which booster box to get. So if I want something from Scarlet Violet, I'm paying anywhere from $300 to $400 depending on what booster box it is. And then if I want to pick up some Sword and Shield stuff, I'm spending $500 plus on those boxes. So and I don't have unlimited capital, so I really have to make good choices, or just decide, do I want to add on Scarlet Violet? Do I want to add Sword and Shield? Those are the questions I'm asking myself. But yeah, I guess that's most of what I wanted to say. PSA, just wait it out. Be patient. If you are a business, unfortunately, this is probably a tough time. Not many alternatives. But yeah, wait out the PSA stuff. Try out PCG. I think long term, I think PCG will be a company that, just like CGC or TAG, they're the runners up after PSA. If you grade your cards today with PCG and just hold them down, I think eventually there's a possibility that, PCG will be the second runner up. And even if it gets to that point, I mean, whatever cards you have graded will have value. It just takes time. So yeah, if you want a little long term, take a little risk play, try out PCG. In terms of the market, I mean, things have been pretty stagnant. I haven't seen too many products, on big moves up or down. I see like little upticks in the Sword and Shield stuff, on collector, it goes up a couple dollars. But in general, everything's been pretty chill. And yeah, again, buying sealed product long term. It doesn't matter if it's one ETB, one booster box. Just get it, put it away, and just keep adding. What you're really doing is just building an asset long term. You're gonna wake up one day and you got X amount of dollars in Pokemon because you held for 5 to 10 years. And that time, it's gonna come around. It seems like a long time. 5, 10 years, never gonna happen. I'm 25 right now. One day I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna be 35, and hopefully I still have all the Pokemon I have today. But I guess yeah, that's all I have for this video. Hopefully this helps someone out, get some perspective. Sorry, I thought my video ended, but yeah, that's all I have for today's video. Buy some sealed product, be patient with PSA, maybe try out PCG, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.